soon to be mama bears, or soon to be mama bears again, right? We have this lovely thing called the Psoas muscle. I took a red magic marker and showed people because the abs will split in pregnancy, and you have this muscle that hides. It goes to the pubic joint in the hip, right? And it's underneath all your gut. So as this starts to split and the pelvis widens, we've got to have support in the abs and adductors. So your legs become everything in pregnancy, okay? So during and after, we've got to make sure this stays strong and the legs don't pull too hard, and that this can handle the load that the abdominals will leave them when they get, pulled apart. Here's an actual image of it. So this is the stomach taken away. It hangs all the way onto the low back, down into the hip socket. A tight pubic joint, a tight hip, and a tight mid-back is just death to the psoas. That's when I see all these patients coming in hobbling. So it is huge to make sure that you keep this strong, okay? And then after pregnancy, it's all about the bounce back. You gotta wait 6 weeks and chill out. But good old planks. We're gonna work in just with a regular plank. So just holding the shoulders, holding up. Some people can't do a regular plank. They've gotta bend the knees, so be it. But you gotta squeeze your butt, stay really tight, keep your neck nice and neutral, right? If you can get into a full plank, great, right? And then good old side planks, right? Side planks are cheating, but very important. Now, pregnancy requires a lot of work from adductors. If you walk, then you're gonna do a lot better. But that's really, really intense and usually too hard. So sometimes I just have my mom squeeze anything, foam roller, a stuffed animal. If I am squeezing my knees together and I lift up and down, what you're working is the abdominals here, which push onto the pubic joint, and the adductors here that keep the knees stable. And we all know that we do the pregnancy waddle, and you'll struggle and have this space underneath the ground because of the shortening of that psoas muscle, okay? So the squeezing together is it's huge. Now, getting in a 90-90 severely makes a huge impact on the back. It's the best position to be in, okay? So as you're doing this, doing a little bit of ice, if you just start doing a little bit of sit-ups, or you pick up a kettlebell, TJ Maxx sells them really cheap, but just really light. And you don't need a kettlebell when you have a brand new baby, right? So if this is post-pregnancy, you take your sweet little thing and you just, do the airplane and have fun with them, and just little lifts and that, and you wouldn't believe how much that works. It also requires you to breathe, right? So when you're doing exercises and actually putting air through the abdominals and working the adductor, you start really creating what we call a closed chain. That means all the muscles coordinated, working together. So a little 90-90 goes a long way. I was holding my legs up, but you can easily get a chair or a couch. Get your cute little baby up here. They're usually giggling. You can do all sorts of stuff. And as you're keeping yourself stable, you can also get something nice for your neck. So some of my moms also have had a lot of headache and neck pain, especially with the doubled up blood volume that you have to experience when you're pregnant. But again, just light little crunch. Off to the side, I'm getting a nice shoulder stretch, right? You can do this without a weight at first and then work into it. And notice my low back isn't moving. So I'm keeping my back still and I'm wringing out my ribs. So making sure I get that movement back through my rib cage. You wouldn't believe, again, when we do that pregnant waddle at the end where our legs are coming through and rotating too much, that twist goes right into the back and creates a lot of joint issues for moms. Okay? Now, what else is really easy is a good old exercise ball. Other than just bouncing, you can bounce your baby on the exercise ball. You can also put it against the wall or not have a ball at all. Some of you don't have a ball, so we're gonna just do the minimal version, but there's, again, that rotation through the knee with the waddle and the twist through the back is a problem. So I'll ask people to do sideways wall squats and they'll turn. Now I just injured my low back and I just pulled a knee. Most of my new moms with cute little kids don't want to do that. So as we bend to the side, if I have to glue my body to the floor, I'm getting a stretch here and I'm working the pelvic floor. Okay, there's all these muscles between your butt bone and the tailbone. And some of you might have even had an episiotomy, or you get some tissue tearing, and you gotta be very careful. That's why you don't want to do any rehab for the first 6 weeks. So as you go down through the knee, and I'm pushing. So like a tree has rooted into the ground, my feet are pushed together, I can feel these muscles turned on and it's stabilizing my pubic joint. This is very important post-birth. Now notice, my body never goes sideways past my foot. It's dangerous, you'll get hurt. And then I just come up and I can feel putting more work on the medial part of here. If your kneecaps hurt, if your ankle's really tight, then sometimes we really need to do an adjustment. One of the biggest things is you're carrying your beautiful little new baby sometimes, so this becomes really stuck in flexion, and we've got to be able to make sure that you can get your middle back moving, or you're doing all these exercises overloading the lower back. It's not good. The other one that's really hard, if you feel really comfortable, like you're able to do the wall sit and you can do a basic plank, whether on knees or feet, is the bridge lift. And again, you're going to be on the floor and picking them up and leaning forward, and most things are in flexion. Feeding's in flexion. So if you pretend you're like a cat and your hands are on the ground and you're really gripping the ground and you exhale, it's all about just holding, okay? And you're trying to open up the shoulders, keep the neck nice and neutral, make sure you're not clenching, and work towards getting that pelvis up. If you have to start here, there's nothing wrong with that, that's fine. Okay, and we can make that all much harder later. So if you're kind of a rock star and you feel like you're bored and we want to ramp it up, or you feel like this is really overwhelming, you come into your appointments and just bring it up, and we can kind of give you different ways to apply the same exercises to the uniqueness of your body, because some of you have had some really interesting things go on. As you know, birth is personal, so we can customize that exercise. We also have Dr. Rami here doing a lot of rehab, so some of you that get bored and want to do some advanced performance stuff just so you work better, because most pregnant women do not understand that we have relaxin in our system when we have a baby. Okay, when you have a child, it's like a brand new start. You have this flexibility like a kid. In order to deliver them, you have a special hormone going on in your system. When you're done breastfeeding, that's all gone. So it's really nice to take advantage of that, and we really have a short window. So I really asked that my moms take care of themselves, because if you take care of you, you're showing the baby to take care of themselves. Parenting is more powerful when you're walking your talk. So I talk my moms into doing some rehab, and when they're past all the basic stuff, we get into some really cool performance stuff, and it's just a really neat opportunity with the hormones that you have kicking in your system right now. The other thing we have is postpartum depression classes. My husband and I do the DiMartini method, so there's a lot of expectations as a new parent. I mean, some of you have had kids before and you're all good, but some of you get the baby blues, and please look at efficiencymastery.com for that, because there's people are lonely and at home dealing with hormonal crisis, and it gets a little crazy. I also do some classes on hormones, so reach out, and if you have any other questions or you're struggling, just let us know. We've got a lot of information for you.